Hello my chica boom booms. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day today, and I hope that the rest of your week is wonderful as well. Today we are going to play around with some of the items I received in my Plouise budget box. Y'all know I was waiting for that box for like ever, okay? That was the August box. So I'm really excited that the box that I officially and finally ended up getting was an amazing box. If you haven't seen the full-on unboxing, then make sure you guys go check it out. Today though, I am only going to use a few of the items. This palette, I don't know why I pulled it up because that's not the one that I'm going to use. I am going to use the Lady in Charge palette. As you've seen, my face is pretty much on already. I used a different foundation I haven't shown you guys here before. I literally just did one pump of the Il Makiage After Party foundation. I am in the shade 135, and girl, oh, have a pelito. I always have freaking pelitos in my face. It's like I'm shedding. Okay, I haven't featured this one on the channel quite yet. Again, I'm in 135. It is a full coverage foundation and she is beautiful. I filled in my brows and I did the most so that this video doesn't take a lifetime to get through. If you are interested in how I achieved my brows, girl, I did a step-by-step with like different products to show you that these brows are achievable regardless of what you're trying to use. And like I just show you like my tips and tricks, so make sure you go check out that video. But we are gonna prime the lids, okay? I was going to try to use this one. I'll feature this with the other palette because the Plouise base is not the base that I want to use for a look like the one I want to put together today. I'm gonna use the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in medium. I am going to dip onto the cap because this is like so pigmented that you don't really need to dip your finger directly into the pot, and these are gonna last forever. And then I'm gonna use my sponge to blend this out. As I'm blending, I'm gonna zoom you guys in so we can get right into it, because y'all already know that I was freaking out to have been able to secure this box because it was freaking amazing. And the thing about it is it sells out so fast. So it's one of those situations where you need to stay on top of it and not sleep on it, otherwise you won't get it. So ay Dios, espérate. You know, my lashes do this thing where like the product just sits on it and it's kind of annoying. It's kind of frustrating. So we're gonna start off with something super simple and kind of clean. And I'm gonna tell you guys, you don't need to get a palette with this color story. You can definitely use a palette that you already own. However, I've been really wanting to try their formulas, so we're gonna use this palette. And this is pretty straightforward. I'm gonna kind of keep this natural but kind of taupey at the same time. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush. I'm gonna dip into Yummy Mummy. Bing, 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 bing. And I'm just kind of going to drag that on the outer portion of the eye and blend it back and forth, just like this. And if you're new to my channel, mija, make sure you are subscribed. The subscribe button is right below here. It's the red rectangular button. I always want to say triangle, but it's not a triangle. It's a rectangle. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. While you're there, hit the notification bell, selecting all notifications. That way YouTube lets you know every single time I upload a brand new video and or provide an update over on my community page. Typically you would receive an alert. And then while you're there, hit the like button, por favor. It's the little thumbs up button. It really helps my channel out. It tells YouTube, you know what? I like her content. Her channel's pretty cool, and you should push it and recommend it to people who have the same interests as I do. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it. Muchas gracias. See, look at the difference. That shade just created like such a pretty kind of transition to where it kind of looks like my eyes are more sculpted even though they're not. So I really like that shade. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and I want to kind of update you guys on some feedback I got on the video when I was explaining my whole background situation. Everyone liked it so far and said, you know, it makes sense and it's still you, it's simple, really like it. It kind of goes with your vibe and your like personality, your channel, which is wonderful. Thank you, because it's been so convenient. It literally, like, the primer that I used is the Plouise Hydrate Primer, and it was right there. I didn't have to go fishing for it, searching for it, or anything like that. It was literally right behind me. Just roll my little chair around and grab it. So that was really convenient. So I got really positive feedback on that. Oh wait, I wanted to show you guys something. If you want to make your eyes look bigger and more like defined, take a taupey shade like that one one, whatever you're applying on your crease, as long as you're going natural, do not do this with a really dark brown or a gray or a black, because it could get messy real fast. But I would take that taupey shade and bring it all the way in and kind of focus it here, because it's going to make your nose look more sculpted, but also your eye, which is really awesome. And I love that as a trick. Okay, where was I going with this? Because now I'm like, you guys know I'm kind of like a space cadet. Oh, so what I was gonna say was, I got feedback from some of you guys saying, well, we're gonna miss seeing Cam playing around on the background, like the top of her hair, because typically like she's like this tall, so you will just see like her little pom-pom or little like palm tree of a ponytail that I do on her, just kind of like roaming around in the background. There is so much space back here. She has the freedom to even go behind me, so you still see her, no worries. She will show up here on the channel, but this is just a better opportunity for me to really keep a good eye on her. I'm gonna grab me the Spectrum B07. I'm not gonna lie to you, mija, I don't remember where I got this from, but I got it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit Lifetime with this brush, kind of like roll it around, diggy, and then tap out. And then I'll take that and tap it out here. So we're gonna color build a little bit, because I definitely want to go a little darker, but because these eyeshadows are so pretty and they're so pigmented, I have to be very careful. Tengo que tener mucho cuidado. Another pelito, the baby's up. Okay, you'll probably see Cam in a second. ¿Qué pasó? I don't know if she's still shocked that I moved the room around and she's like feeling confused, or if she's shocked that the room is as clean as it is, because it's like clean, mija. I went in. ¿Qué pasó? You want your cookies? You want your cookies? Cookies! She has the biggest smile. I gave her one of her crackers and I gave her my phone, and she's like the happiest camper ever. I told you guys you would see her again. This channel is just as much hers as it is mine, okay? So I'm gonna take that, and I'm out, like you saw that I was kind of like tapping here because I want the vast majority of the product here. Again, we're color building, and then I'm gonna kind of drag like this, tiki. So yeah, we're gonna put like a regular bed in her room at this point because her naps are so short, it's insane. Not that I mind her being here, right? Because I'm like so used to keeping an eye on her anyway, but it's kind of like she gets so fussy and mean. She gets mean throughout the day if she doesn't nap right. Yeah, she is too funny. Okay, so I'm gonna like blend back and forth. Oh, she's living her best life right about now. Now I'm gonna grab an eyeshadow brush. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy with BK Beauty A501. I'm going to dip into MOB. As a matter of fact, hold on, let's go back. That brush that we used on the crease, I'm gonna drag whatever's left on the bottom of the eye, but I'm not gonna bring it all the way in. I kind of want to just add a little like shade of something out here, because when we go darker, we're gonna go darker, so I don't want to like overdo it or anything. We're gonna oh here. But yeah, she's living her best life. So right about now she's having a cracker, she's watching her videos, and I brought her like little couch in here, which is super convenient because it's so tiny. I can just like lift it with one hand and have everything else on the other, including her. And yeah, she's just sitting there chilling. Life is getting so much easier and I'm loving it. Okay, so back to the eyeshadow brushie. We're gonna go into this shade here. If you're like of lighter skin complexion than I am, you can definitely go with the shade Guidance or something much lighter, but I need something kind of like light and creamy, but not too light and creamy. I'm gonna take that and I am going to pat it. Notice I'm patting, I'm not blending. I wanna build the color. I don't wanna just swipe, because when you're swiping sometimes, and this doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes you're kind of like removing the product before you're even laying it. So you want to pat it into place. I'm making sure I'm concentrating it in here. I want nice and light in here. This is also going to help your eyes look so much bigger and awake. And by the way, I can do this in 5 minutes, and with practice, I promise you, you can do this in 5 minutes as well. It's taking me a little longer because of course I'm talking and I like being able to have conversation with you guys like you're my girlfriends just sitting across the couch from me. And I'm also trying to make sure I'm explaining things properly so that you guys have something easy to follow. I feel like if I just go pop it in there and call it a day, you're not going to kind of understand the actual skill and the why. So of course I'm telling you why I'm doing, but I'm also telling you why I'm doing it. See, so we're building it, and now my eyes are looking like a brighter and awake and like lifted, but we're not done, so don't worry. Feel free to go back in with the brush we used with this like taupey shade. If you want to dip in and kind of go back in very lightly, you can. I like that these are pigmented but not crazy intense, so you're not gonna easily mess up a look. So that is really awesome. I'm gonna go ahead, and the reason why I'm kind of like blending again is because that shade is so much lighter. You want there to be a nice gradient. You don't want it to be like a division between your crease shade and your lid shade, because it needs to kind of have a beautiful shift. It needs to look kind of like airbrushed, you know. Next, we're gonna go a little darker. I'm gonna use a Luxie 237 blending. I'm going to dip into First Love. So we're working our way around like the lighter shades to the darker, and I'm a little brush like this, something tiny, something that is going to fit into your crease. Anything bigger than your crease is just gonna kind of like blend everything together, and you're gonna lose the work that you've already put into it. And we're just gonna kind of like go like this in circles. Does not have to be perfect. You will be blending again anyway, but you want to concentrate your color there, and then you want to bring forward. Do not blend in circular motions. Once you pass this outer crease area, you want to just do windshield wiper around the middle of your eye and towards the beginning of your eye. So your circular motions will only take place out here. And if you want a more rounded out effect like I have out here, blend in circular motions but counterclockwise. If you want to have like a wing kind of like pulled out effect, then blend out the opposite way, and it'll create a V for you, but I don't want that V. So we're gonna do one of these. Blend in, not out. It's a better way to explain it. And then windshield wiper here. She is literally squatting right next to me. She cannot resist her mama. She loves me. She needs to be with me at all times. You know, I'm looking at my makeup right now, and I remember when I used to work at the office, my supervisor, who was a jerk, to be fair, and that's the nicest way I can say it here on the channel, he was not very nice, right? And I remember when I started applying makeup that I was like doing beauty school, he didn't even know that I was doing the beauty school situation, and I started applying my makeup and going to work. I had something like this, and he straight up told me, that is way too much makeup, you need to go wash it off. Now, grabbing the brush that I used like for that very first color, we're going to blend that outer edge. No additional product because your brush has more than enough. This is a really nicely pigmented formula. So we're just gonna go like this and just blend. You want that beautiful gradient. So yeah, could you believe that he told me that it was inappropriate? I worked in an office. Like I had something like this, nude lip, it was nothing. And he said, you need to go wash it off, it's inappropriate. Of course, I am me, and I have a backbone. I have zero tolerance for like ignorance and stupidity and machismo. So I did not wash my face. I said absolutely not. When he said, well, then you need to go home, I remember looking at him and saying, I'm sorry, can you please whip out the policy booklet that we all have here, right? Because I would love to see where in the policy ever and the guidelines does it say that is inappropriate for me to wear makeup. He obviously couldn't find anything, and I remember he said, well, that it was inappropriate, and I pointed out another staff member, and due to her personal situation, she would wear makeup, right? And I'm not gonna like talk about that because that's her business, not mine, but she would wear makeup. So I pointed her out and I said, well, she wears makeup. He goes, yeah, but she's a different case. And I'm like, okay. So because of her situation, she can wear makeup, but because I don't need it, in your opinion, I don't need it, I cannot wear makeup? I said, yeah, okay, not gonna happen. Watch me continue to wear my makeup. You cannot do anything about it. Like, there's nothing that says I worked in a freaking office, dude. Like, are you joking? So of course, I wore my makeup the entire day, and I made sure I touched up my lipstick while I was at it, because this was before liquid lipstick, and I did it on purpose. I sure as hell did. I'm gonna grab the same little fluffy brush that we used, and I'm going to lightly dip into Mentor because I have what I want right now, but I kind of want to just add a little bit, just a dip of Mentor, just because it has more. It's not even that taupey. It has more of a red undertone to it. I want to add that out here. I'm not going to blend. I'm not going to do much of anything. I just want to tap that on the lower portion of the eye out here. And that is all I am going to do. That's going to also help my like falsies blend in nicely. So guess what Yari did, because Yari is Yari, and I'm just I am my mother's daughter. Now mind you, I told you guys I wore a look like this, right? I didn't even wear lashes that day, and he like was being a jerk. Gonna blend a little bit. So the next day Yari showed up with blue eyeshadow. I sure did. I showed up with blue, like smoky blue, like it was a cobalt blue with like black, and I popped on lashes. And he was pissed, and I was loving it. So yeah, it's just sometimes these looks bring me back to the olden days. Ty says olden days, which is really funny, but it just brings me back on how some people sometimes think that they can rule the world just because they're your supervisor. I'm gonna pop on the lashes I got in the Plouise box. This is the Bill Please. Just gonna like pull them out. No, okay, that's not, I mean, I can make it work, but damn. Be very careful. That very rarely happens to me. Wow. Can you see? It's literally a thread, and it ripped off of the thread. So now I have this. I'm gonna make it work. This is not my first rodeo. So I'm gonna start off with the one that's not broken, because that one's gonna be like super easy to like get together and pop on. And while this one is settling, that's pretty. And she's just like laying there. She's not even set. She's pretty. I cannot believe that I did this to the lash. I'm still going to like glue her the way I would normally glue a lash, except there's a gap, and it's okay. I'll make her work. And I'm assuming que metí pata in English, it's like I really stuck my foot into it this time. It's something along those lines. I know translation from Spanish to English is not that cute. Like I know sometimes in English you're like, wow, that sounds amazing. It's really not. It's awkward, and just sometimes it doesn't even make sense. I popped her on. She's gonna take a little longer to set, so let's apply our mascara on whatever is already set. So we're gonna do this eye, and then this is so pretty and simple. I'm only gonna drag a little bit of mascara down here just to define it a smidge, but not too much. Okay, now the very last item we are going to try on the lips, directly on the lips, is going to be the lip liner in the shade Mark My Words. Now, if you didn't see my other video where I did this unboxing, I actually swatched this, not directly on my lips and not on the back of my hand, but on the side of my lip, so that you guys can actually see how it is that I swatch off camera. Oh, that broke. That's a soft formula. Okay. So that you guys can see how it is that I typically would swatch a lip liner in the event that I already have like makeup on, which in this case I did. Oh my god, I feel like this lash is looking wonky, but it's my fault because I broke that damn lash. I was being too rough. I don't even know why. This is a pretty shade. I like it. It's very wearable. It is a very thick formula. So I'm doing one of these, and it's moving around. So it blended on its own in a beautiful way. And you don't really have to like go all over your lips to get it on. But I'm gonna tell you though, it's thick. But I'm gonna put this right here because I really like it. I'm gonna see how I feel about it at the end of the day. Right about now, it's very comparable to me, at least in my opinion, like with how I like my liners, to my Dragon Beauty 2.0 cc's lip liner. And you guys already know how obsessed I've been with that lip liner for months. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna top this off with something a little on the pinky side. I'm gonna resort to Glossip by Ofra Cosmetics. Y'all already know I love me some Ofra. This is their lip gloss. I'm gonna pop some of that on the center. Do you see her? I told you you'd keep seeing her. She gets everywhere. All right, girl, here is the completed look. I am obsessed with the eyes. The lashes are fluttery and lightweight and fluffy and pretty, but not heavy. They're dramatic, but not too much. They're like perfect for this eye look. I messed it up by breaking them, and I feel bad, but I managed to make it work. I just kind of have to finagle this a little bit. Either way, the palette worked beautifully. The lip liner is amazing. It did the most. I didn't even have to go in with another lippy. It just did the most. And this was just one look utilizing one of the palettes. I did take one of the palettes and pop it in the giveaway bin. I am gonna give that away to one of you guys, which is really exciting. I am stoked. I have no idea what in the world they're gonna feature for the September box that should ship soon. So I don't know, but money well spent. I'm so happy with this investment. I'm so happy that I finally got my hands on Plouise products. Plouise eyeshadows, and they did the most. But of course, I always want to hear you guys' thoughts, so make sure you're chiming in down below, that you have chimed in down below. Is this a look that you would wear on a day-to-day basis? I promise you, it's so easy to put together that everyone can do it. And this taupey look, although it looks a little more on like the lavender side on me, is gonna work on all skin complexions. So if you're interested in trying it, I suggest you do. You're gonna look amazing. Now that is it for today's video. I'm so excited to show you more looks, more unboxings, more product reveals in the month of October. So make sure you are subscribed. Please don't forget to hit the like button because it really, really helps me out. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.